Thank you so much, Alexis. Thank you very much, C. And good morning to everybody. We definitely need a strap or belt, whatever you have that gives you a little bit support. We need blocks. And if you have your blanket, if you have your water close by, and then later on for Shavasana, whatever you need to make you comfortable, go and get that. And then find your place on the mat. Take the fleshy parts of the sit bones, maybe wiggle a little bit, and just connect with the earth. And then, find length again through the spine and the top of your head. Keep pushing that all the way up. And then when you're ready, close your eyes just for a moment. And as a pranayama for this morning, we're going to do that Ujjayi breath. So we restrict the back of the throat. And it sounds a little bit like if you're fogging up a mirror, the Darth Vader breath. So inhale through the nose. And when you exhale, you restrict the back of the throat. And while you do that, observe what's happening in your body. Maybe you can relax the tongue in your mouth. Maybe you can smooth out the forehead. Maybe with your next exhale, your shoulders relax a little, soften a little. Maybe with your next exhale, you feel your abdominals helping you to push out the extra air. Maybe with your next inhale, you feel your belly rising. Slowly return to your natural breath. And then slowly let the chin lower down towards the chest, the head, sink down, feel the stretch in the back of your neck. Slowly open your eyes and then slowly lift your gaze again. And then start circling the head, just one way, very small circle. Imagine again you draw a circle with the top of your head. And then slowly change the direction. And then lift your shoulders all the way up to your ears and let them slide down. Next, be connected with the breath. So you inhale your shoulders all the way up. And as soon as your exhale comes, you let the shoulders slide down. One more time. All the way up. Maybe pause if you have a chance. And then when that exhale comes, take your time. Bring your hands to the sides. Inhale your arms up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And when you're all the way up here, interlace your fingers and then turn your palms up towards the ceiling. And imagine you're pushing, actually don't imagine, push your hands all the way up towards the ceiling and feel how it makes you longer, taller. Maybe you create space between the vertebrae, reaching all the way up, and then relax the shoulders down and then bring your arms down. Inhale your right arm up. Reach all the way up and come a little bit into a side bend. Slowly lower that arm back down and we lift the other arm and reach all the way up. Take your time. And then float from the left to the right, anchoring down your sit bones. Gently waking up the body. Perfect. And then slowly lower back down. Roll the shoulders back a couple of times. And then hold onto your knees. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale out, we start with the seated cat. So your gaze goes towards the belly button. Try to engage the abs, round your back. And then with your inhale, you open up the chest. Lift your face towards the sky and you take the breath in. Take the air in. And then with your exhale, slowly come back into that cat pose. So seated cat-cow in your own time. You can start with a smaller movement and just feel your way into it. Sometimes it feels good to keep that movement small. And sometimes you want to go for it. So in your next cat pose, just focus on the head. Feel the back of your neck. And slowly lift up your gaze. Lift up the top of your head, right? And then I want to show you something that I just did a couple of days ago in a yoga class, and I really loved it. And it was also very early in the morning, and so you could have the feet off the mat. That's okay if you have maybe a carpet, but I feel like if you have a little bit of attraction and your feet don't slide away, it's easier that way. So now we are moving. So you bring your knees as close to your upper body as you feel okay. So that's different for everybody. And then you can hold on to your hands in front of your legs, or you can bring your arms underneath your thighs and you can hold on to your elbows. So that's already pretty close, right? And then you just, I don't know where my hairband is. And then from here, we are not doing anything else but moving the head towards the knees and lifting it back up. Lowering it down and lifting it back up. So there is this muscle left and right that attaches in the back of your head and goes all the way down right beside your spine, all the way down to your lower back. This is called the erectus spinae. Really good, important muscle. And early in the morning, you probably can feel a really good stretch here. So everybody's different. Keep your movement a little smaller. Listen to your body this morning. Follow your breath. And just make sure the breath is going easy in and out. And you don't have to hold your breath. Just a couple more times. And then slowly lift back up. And then find your way on your back. And bring your bend. Just grabbing my habit. Okay, so bring you down on the back. Now we rock the head from side to side. Gently. And then we lift the arms, palms facing each other. And then, you know it, you lift your right shoulder off the floor, put it back down. Left shoulder off the floor, put it back down. And do a couple of those in your own time. Just activating, waking up the shoulders and that thoracic spine right between your shoulder blades. And to get a little bit more, you get that really good in cat-cow. But now we're going to rotate a little bit. So for that, we are coming on to the side. You can use your blanket, or you can use, use your arm. Use your arm as a pillow, bend your knees, and then bring your other arm, your other elbow right, so your right hand goes behind or on the back of your head. And then we just lift the elbow all the way up and then lower it back down. Just 2 or 3 times. Open it up and lower back down. One more time. We are opening up. Maybe the head goes a little with you. And then lower back down. And then we do the same thing on the other side. So you just turn around and show you bend back. So bring the knees in front. The hand goes behind your head. And then you just open up the chest, open up the elbow, and then lower back down. And again, with the inhale, you can open up. And then with the exhale, you lower back down. Let's do it one more time. Open up. And you lower back down. And then slowly come on your back again. And then bring both knees into the chest. And rock from side to side. Lengthening the tailbone. Getting a little bit of a mobilization in your lower back now, and in the sacrum. All right, then the hands go onto the knees, you know that one, and we circle the knees. Circle one way, circle the other way. And then separate the knees, opening up the hip joints. Changing the direction. And then slowly bring your right knee up. Bring the hands behind your right knee. Bring your left leg down. See if you want to slide it out wherever that is stopping, that's okay. You stay there, flex both feet, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale out, the nose goes towards your knee and slowly lowers back down. One more time, take a deep breath in, exhale out, slowly lower back down. Now we switch, you bring your left knee up, hand goes behind or hands go behind the left knee, you flex both feet, take a deep breath in, exhale out. Lower the head back down, take a deep breath in, and exhale out. Slowly lower back down. And then bring both legs in, shake them out a little bit. And then get your strap, your towel, or your belt, whatever you have close by. And then, of course, we bring the right foot. The strap goes onto your right foot, onto the ball of the right foot. Check your shoulders are away from your ears. Long neck. Before you do anything else, rock your head from side to side. Relax the jaw, the tongue in your mouth. Take a deep breath in. And then find that ujjayi breath, that sound, that restriction in the back of the throat for your exhale. And then focus on, whenever you exhale, on another position or another part in that pose. So with the next exhale, you push the heel all the way up, the toes come a little down, the knee goes towards straight. And when you're ready with your next exhale, maybe slide your leg out just a little, or maybe all the way, whatever feels right. If it's all the way out, flex that leg, flex that foot. And again, with the next exhale, maybe bring the leg a little closer towards you. And then bring both straps into the right hand and let the leg go over to the right side, opening up the side body. Left hand onto the left hip, make sure that hip stays down. Check the head, check the shoulders. Are they both on the floor? Are both hips on the floor? How's your left leg? One more ujjayi breath. And then slowly bring the leg to the middle, switch your hands, and we bring the leg over to the left side. So you can bring your right hand onto the hip crease or have it right beside your body. One more ujjayi breath. And then slowly bring that leg back to the middle. We stay with one hand on both straps. So your left hand is on the straps. And then we bring the right arm all the way up over our head. And we are a little bit in a warrior 3. Flex that left foot, push the heel out. And maybe energize the fingertips in your right hand. Perfect. Slowly bring the right arm back down. Slide your left leg back up and take the strap off your foot. And then put the strap onto the left. And again, we work with the ujjayi breath. So first we rock the head from side to side. We make sure the shoulders are not all the way up. They're away from the ears. And then with your next exhale, You flex your foot, the heel pushes up, the knee goes to straight. And then again with the next Ujjayi breath, slide your leg out as far as you like. If it's all the way out, flex your right foot. With your next exhale, bring the leg a little closer towards you. If that's not happening this morning, just soften in that pose. Keep the knee bent. Concentrate on the long inhale and long exhale. How's the jaw? How's the neck? How's the tongue in your mouth? And then we bring the straps into the left hand. Right hand goes onto the right hip. And we let the left leg go over to the left side, opening up the inner thighs of the left leg. Watch both shoulders. Keep your right leg energized. Flex that right foot. Breathe. One more Ujjayi breath. Slowly bring your leg back to the middle. Switch to the right hand. Left hand can go into the left hip crease or right beside you. And then your left leg goes over towards the right side. Make sure that left hip is still on the mat. It's not lifting up. Ujjayi breath. Observe what it does, that Ujjayi breath. Where does it take the tension out? Slowly bring your leg back to the middle. Keep your right hand under both of the straps. Bring your left arm all the way overhead. Flex that right foot and imagine that is your warrior 3. Energize the fingertips. And then slowly bring the left arm right beside. Bring your right leg back up. Take the strap off. Shake those legs out. And then come into table. In table, we come back to cat-cow. You could bring your blanket to support those knees. Okay, so check first your hands or the fingers opening up. And then the inner elbow crease is looking forward but softening. Where is the head lifted up, shoulders away from the ears. And then check if you can see your feet, make them disappear, your hips and knees on one line. And then scoop the abs up a little and push the top of your head towards the wall. Long spine. Take a deep breath in, open up the chest, lift your gaze. And then exhale out, scoop those abs in and up, push the floor away. And then again, do a couple of those in your own time and see if you can find that Ujjayi breath with your exhale. Slowly come into your table and then tuck the right toes under, push the heel away. And then slowly relax that, but lift your right leg. Flex that foot, push the heel away. Scoop your abs in and up, supporting you. Lift your left arm and reach. And if you're wobbly, just come back. Make yourself really, really long. And slowly lower down. Come back to cat, round the back. And slowly come back into a neutral spine. And now we tuck the left toes under, push the heel away. And then slowly lift that left leg. Scoop the abs. Make sure the hips are looking down and not lifting or rotating up. Your hips. And then lift your right arm and reach. Make yourself long. Create space. Feel your abs supporting you and feel the back muscles working to hold up the arm, to hold up that leg, and to keep you in balance. And lower down, come back into cat. Push the floor away. Slowly lower back down into neutral spine. Tuck your toes under, come into downward facing dog. Start pedaling the legs. Remember, you do not have to touch the floor with the heels and the knees do not have to be straight, but your hips need to be lifted. You are lengthening your spine. Keep those elbows soft. Don't lock them. Focus on the inner elbow creases looking forward. And then find some stillness in your downward dog. And breathe. Slowly lower down into table. And we are coming into cobra, so you can bring the blanket to the side. We will need it again. We go down into knees, chest, chin. So lower down. And then slide into your cobra. Shoulders away from the ears. And then we look to one side. We look to the other side. And slowly lower down. On the forehead, make a pillow with your hands. Wiggle those hips. Lift up your right leg, stretch it out, make it longer, put it back down. Lift up your left leg, stretch it out, make it longer, put it back down. Now focus on your abs. So pull the belly button in and up so you feel that lengthening in your tailbone, in your lower back. We are in neutral spine here, and then bring your hands back right beside your chest, your ribs. You're not pushing into the hands, but you feel the back muscles lifting. Lifting into cobra. Shoulders away from the ears. And then slowly lower back down. Rest your face on one side. Wiggle the hips again. We're coming back with your next inhale. Lifting back into cobra. And then return the head to the other side. Rest. Wiggle those hips. Slowly lift back up into cobra with your next inhale, whenever that is. And then, of course, we bring the arms right beside the body, palms facing your body. Lift a little bit higher, feel the arm muscles, the triceps working. Energize your fingertips. And if you want, you can lift both legs. Lift them up and breathe here. Again, we are feeling the whole back of the body working, the back of the arms, the muscles in the back, the glutes, the muscles in your legs. And now lift a little higher if you can. And now slowly lower back down, make a pillow with your hands, wiggle those hips again. Relax. Bring your hands right beside the chest. Tuck your toes under. Push into child pose. And then slowly come back into table and get your blanket for your knees. Pull your pants up if you need to. All right, so now we're coming back into downward facing dog. So tuck your toes under, push back. Check your hands, open up those fingers wide. Breathe. Now we come into three-legged dog. So you lift up your right leg, bring it all the way up. You can bend your knee, opening the hips towards the right. Breathe. Make sure your shoulders are square. Then square your hips and bring the knee all the way in towards the belly button. And then come forward and put your right foot in between your hands. And your left knee lowers down onto the mat, onto your blanket. And then you can stay here, lower the hips, see how that feels. You can come onto with the hands onto the knees, you know it. And then you can lift your arms and reach up high. Breathe. And then when you're ready, you bring your left hand down onto the floor or maybe onto your block. And we come into a twist. If your arm up here is a little too much, you can bring the hand onto your hip, onto your knee, and just focus on opening up the upper body towards the right side. Lower the hips. And then slowly lower back down. Put your hands on the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot out just a little bit. And give you a little more space for that lizard. And if you feel like it, if this is already pretty intense, stay here, breathe. No need. But if you feel you want to come down to the floor, absolutely go for it. And remember, you can use also any prop. If you have one of those couch pillows and you feel like they're, supportive enough, they're, not too soft, that's a good choice. Maybe a bolster, maybe your blocks. And then we come slowly back up. And slowly bring that right foot back. Maybe come off the hands for a moment, shake them out. Make a little circle. And then come back into table. Tuck your toes under and lift up into downward facing dog. Ujjayi breath, upside down. Watch those elbows. Focus on those sit bones. If you can, push them up a little higher. And then we bring the right foot in a little bit for that three-legged dog. Lift your left leg all the way up. Keep your shoulders square. And if you want to, you can bend your knee and then rotate a little the lower body towards the left. Even out the pressure in your hands, so it's not just right. And then slowly square the hips, bring the knee towards your nose, and then put your foot in between the hands. And then from here, lower your hips. You can bring the hands on the knee, you can stay on the floor, and breathe. You can lift your arms, reach all the way up. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Scoop the abs. Now we come back into the twist if you like. Your right hand goes down onto the floor. The left hand stays all the way up or maybe on your hip. Reach, reach, reach all the way up. And when you're ready, slowly bring that left hand on the inside of your left foot and walk your left foot out a little. And seriously, this is already pretty good. If you're here and you feel happy, you can breathe. You do not have to come onto the elbows. So stay here, be happy, right? But definitely, if this is good in the morning right now, if that feels, that's totally okay with you, go onto the elbows, use your props to support you. That's what they're there for. And sometimes it's just a little bit of a lift, that's all you need, and it feels awesome. If there's any pain, do not do it. Come out, relax. Come into a child pose, or go straight away into Shavasana. Slowly come back out, and then bring the knees back, open up the knees, and come into a child pose. Now again, we come back into, this is the last one on the hands, I promise. So now, I want you to tuck your toes under. So there's a couple of options. I give you two. One, they're both hard, but one's a little harder. So we want to fire up those abs because they are very important to keep us balanced, right? Support the spine. So open up your fingers wide. And then you tuck your toes under, shoulders away from the ears. And then with your next exhale, when your abdominal is going to help push the air out, we lift up, we hover the knees. And then when the next inhale comes, you lower the knees down. With your exhale, you lift your knees, they hover off the floor. And with your inhale, you lower down. Inhale, no, you exhale, lift your knees. And then you inhale, you lower down. So you can keep doing that. Or, that's the other option, the knees stay up all the time, right? You need to keep breathing. And you step a leg out and then back in. You step the other leg out and back in, or out, out, in, in. So keep breathing. Out, out, in, out, out, in. One more time. Out, out, in, lower down, untuck the toes and shake those hands out. Fantastic. All right, we come back onto the hands, but just to get up. So tuck your toes under, come into downward dog, and then walk your feet towards your hands. Soften the knees and let the weight of the body pull you down. And then we inhale halfway up into a straight back, hands underneath your knees, or maybe underneath or on your thighs. Exhale forward. Inhale all the way up. Exhale forward. Now for the next exhale, see if you can get that ujjayi breath going. Inhale, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, ujjayi breath. I'm not going to talk for the next one. Now with this one, you stay here and feel the back of the legs.
Soften the knees, bend the knees so that your chest is on your thighs. Right, what we did at the beginning, right? And now you scoop those abs up. This is the first thing you do. And then you press your feet down, activate your legs and start rolling up. Take your time, bone by bone. Really focus on the core, maybe your glutes. Press the feet down. And then the last thing that comes up is the head. You roll your shoulders back. Perfect. Hi. Okay, shake everything out. Maybe a little twist, right? Now, come to the front of the mat and bring your hands onto your hips. Bring the weight into your left leg and step the right leg all the way back. So we come into a high lunge. So first, I want you to focus on the back heel, that is lifted. Your back knee can be, can be almost straight, can be a little bit bent, but definitely your front knee is bent. So maybe you have to adjust a little. Make sure the hips look forward. And we take a breath. And then we lift the arms, reach up high. Energize those fingertips, drop the shoulders down. Find your core. Pull that belly button towards the spine. Lengthen the tailbone. So what we do next is, with the inhale, we straighten the knee and the back foot comes onto the tippy toes. And remember, at the beginning, we were trying to lengthen that spine, create space here, drop the shoulders down, but find that length in the spine. Sorry, that was too much talking. So with your next exhale, maybe that ujjayi breath, you bend that knee and you relax the back heel a little. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, ujjayi breath. And then we bring the hands onto the hips and the back heel into that warrior two stance, and focus on the stance first. So check your feet. So the front foot is looking straight ahead. The back foot is turned in a little. Your knee is not going in or out. It's right in line. And if you could, check both of your feet if they are in one line. They don't have to be, but that's like the warrior two. But sometimes our hips, they don't work like that. So it could be on two. Then lift your arms, reach. Check the back arm, if it's the same height. And feel that you are pulling almost just a little bit the pinky fingers back. Squeezing between the shoulder blades. Breathe. And again, we are lifting the knee, reaching all the way up. And then we lower back down. Inhale, lift. And bend the knee and lower down. Last one, inhale. And we bend the knee, lower back down, and the hands come onto the hips. We parallel the feet and we here throw everything back together. Come back to the front of the mat. Come into mountain pose. And then bring your weight into the right leg. Bring the hands onto your hips and step back into that high lunge. Find out what is working for you, right? Sometimes it's a little more here, sometimes it's a little more back. And now your legs are definitely on two lines. So take a breath. Focus on your abs. Lengthen the tailbone, which is a little harder to do with that back leg. Step back that far. And then lift your arms, reach. And then with your breath, you straighten the front knee and the back heel lifts up. And then when you exhale, you bend that front knee and you relax a little in the back heel. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up, straighten the knee. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. Hands come onto the hips. The back here goes down for the warrior two. Lift your arms, adjust your foot. And then again, if you see, I always do that, I'm leaning forward. So shoulders are right over your hips. Check yourself. It's harder to do without a mirror, I know, but you can do it. And then pull the pinkies back just a little. It's almost not a movement. It's more an intention, right? And then we straighten the knee, lift the arms. Yes. Bend the knee, open up. Inhale, lift if you can. Sometimes it's exactly the opposite. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Perfect. Straighten the knee, bring the hands onto the hips, parallel, and then heel toe, everything back together. Now get your blocks and put them right on the mat. We're coming to pyramid pose. So sometimes some of us don't need them. I definitely do need them. So see what works, right? Now, the feet or the toes are right in line, or like, do you see that, right? Hands come onto your hips. And then you bring the weight into the left leg again and you step your right foot back. So this time it's not a big step. And again, you can adjust anytime. If you feel in between it's too far, then bring it in. So now, again, focus on the hips, that both of them look forward. Scoop those abs in and out. Lengthen that tailbone, shoulders away from the ears. See where your chin is. Bring it in. Push through the top of the head. Keep all that length. Sometimes, when you have your thumbs here, push the material of your clothes or, the skin or the muscles a little bit down. And that already helps a little, right? So keep all that. Hands stay on the hips. You squeeze the shoulder blades together, also your elbows. And then you fold forward from your hips. And then you should feel the left leg, the back of the left leg. So you can also bring your hands now onto your blocks. So some of us, that's not an option. We won't reach those blocks. So stay with your hips, stay with your hands on your hips. Keep squeezing, focusing on the lengthening, right? And stay here and enjoy that opening of the left leg. So now if you're here, you want to focus on that long spine, and also you push that left hip back and the right hip a little towards the front so that we are square again. Check the head, check the shoulders, and smooth out the forehead. Maybe you can have a little smile. And then bring your hands back on your hips and lift back up and step forward. Other side, bring the weight into your right leg. Step your left foot back. Oops. Again, that was a little too far. All right, so focus on the hips, lengthen the tailbone, scoop the abs up. Find that long spine, shoulders away, proud chest. Lots of things going on. And then maybe push it down here. Shoulders and elbows are squeezed gently together. And then you keep all that while you forward from the hip. If you want, you have your blocks right here. You can push into the blocks. And that gives you that nice anchor, or something to push against. And you can focus on the rest, like the left hip comes a little forward, the right hip goes back. Maybe you can focus on the abs. Maybe you can even find that ujjayi breath right now. Perfect. And then slowly push into your feet. Hands go back onto your hips. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and you lift back up and step forward. Shake everything out. Mountain pose. So lift your toes, spread them out wide. Unlock the knees, soft knees. And then see if you can have that here a little bit bent, just a tiny little bit, so that your tailbone in the back, right, from here, you have a range of motion that you can work with, right? And you want to push it down, palms facing forward, a gentle squeeze between your shoulder blades. Long neck. Bring the chin a little towards the chest. Relax the tongue in your mouth. And for just a moment, close your eyes. How do you feel right now? Slowly open your eyes. Hands come back onto the hips. We come into tree pose. You bring your weight into your left leg and you find your tree. For some of us, the heel goes on top of the other foot, maybe on the calf muscle, maybe all the way up here. So we want to focus on, we are opening up, mine sliding, opening up the hip here, right? But we also don't want to lean in here. So find your long spine again. And this is for balancing. Find your point that you look at that is not moving. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands in front of your chest. You can keep them here as well. Maybe sometimes just one works as well, or the other. And then we open up and reach to the sky. Now interlace your fingers, right? Flip the palms and reach all the way up. Perfect. Open up the arms again. And bring the hands in front of your chest. Very busy tree. Lift your knee and step back down. Hands come back onto the hips, other sides. Find your way. Feel the little roots out of your foot growing down into your floor, down all the way down into the earth. Wherever you are. Hands in front. Pulsing on the hip. And hands all the way up. And see what happens if you think of your active and strong core. Push the top of the head all the way up. Breathe. If you feel like it, interlace your fingers. Push all the way up. Find that long spine, the spaces in between those vertebrae. Breathe. Feel how that foot is working on balancing you. Awesome. Hands can open up again and onto your hips. You lift your knee, flex the foot, step down. Shake everything out. And we're coming into the same pose as we did before, with the high lunge, but we are going into warrior 3. So I always have to watch my window and my plants. So I have to step a little bit further back, right? And there's different options. So we are coming to the right leg goes back. And you bend your left knee, focus on the core again. And just to activate again those leg muscles, we are lifting the arms all the way up, front knee is bent. And then when we inhale, we lift and straighten the knee. Come on to the tippy toes on the back foot, the heel is lifting. And then bend it when we lower down. Just do it 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then bring your hands all the way down. And we are coming into that warrior 3. So now all the weight goes into your left leg. You have that back foot. You can stay here. If it's a little too wobbly and you don't want to lift it up, that's okay. Stay here. And maybe, and if you feel like lifting it up, go for it. Flex that foot. Push the heel away. Push those arms away. And find that long spine. The hip is looking down. If it's all a little too much with the arms, put the hands onto your hips. Breathe. And when you're ready, lower your right leg back down. Hands come onto the hips. Step forward. Shake it all out. Perfect. Okay. Now, focus on your right leg. Step your left leg all the way back. We're lifting the arms. The front leg is bent, the knee is bent. The back leg is straight, but the heel is lifted. And then with your inhale, you straighten your knee. With your exhale, you lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then you bring the weight into the front leg. Maybe tap the toes just so we feel we're safe. The floor is always there. And then you can come into your warrior 3, arms beside on the hips. Even here, I've got that. And then, of course, all the way to the front. Long spine, scoop those abs. Feel the strength of your back body. Breathe. And if you lose your balance, put the foot back down, set yourself back up, and then come back into your pose. One more breath. Lower everything down. Step forward. Shake everything out. You did it. Come forward onto the front of the mat, and we come into one more big lift, lengthening everything. And then with your next exhale, we forward. We hang here for a moment. Hold into your elbows, sway from the left to the right. Breathe. And then come into your downward dog, step back. Lift those sit bones one last time. Ujjayi breath upside down. And then lower down into tabor. Swing the legs around. We're not wasting any more time. And go straight onto the back for our spinal twist. Again, if you know whatever spinal twist you like with your props or without it, you can go for it. If you have no idea, bring the arms to the side, lift your hips over to the right, and then you can stretch out your left leg and bring the right leg over to the other side and put a block underneath the knee. Or maybe a blanket. Make sure both of your shoulders are down, and you can also have both knees bent. And then stay here and breathe. And observe how the body with every exhale can relax a little more. If you can't, use a prop or change the pose. Maybe you want to bring your arms up into cactus or goddess arms. Maybe you want to turn your head to the right side. And whenever you're ready, slowly come back to the middle. Press your feet down, lift your hips, bring the hips over to your left. And then again, if you want to straighten the left and, bring the right over, straighten the right and bring the left over. Use your props in between the knees or maybe underneath. And then focus on your breath. Slowly untwist and get ready for your Shavasana. So you can stretch the legs out, arms right beside the body. Feet as wide as the mat and the knees touch. The legs on top of your chair, your bed, your couch, or up the wall. You can have a blanket. You put your socks on. You use your eye pillow. Whatever you feel you need, go and get that. Whenever you're ready, take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth with a sigh. And again. Feel how the body relaxes. Feel how the breath becomes shallow. With every exhale, let the body relax a little more, soften somewhere. And start to relax your toes, your ankles. Relax your calf muscles and the back of your knees. The top of your knees. Hamstrings. Thighs. The top of your legs. The hips. Glute muscles.
Relax your lower back, middle back, upper back. Soften the belly, your chest. Relax the shoulders, elbows, wrists, all 10 fingers. Relax the back of your neck, the back of your head, the top of your head, your forehead, temples, area around your ears, the inner ear, cheekbones. Unhinge the jaw. Relax the tongue in your mouth. Soften your lips, your eyes, and the space between your eyebrows. Now slowly, without changing anything, bring your attention back to your body. Start to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your toes, your fingers. Stretch your legs, stretch your arms. And when you're ready, bend one knee and then the other. Slowly roll onto your right side. Make a pillow with your arm. Rest. And whenever you're ready, push yourself up into a seated position. Bring your hands in front of your chest and lower the chin to your chest. And thank yourself for coming here this morning. I thank you for coming. Namaste.